Let's see. You know, it's been a while since we did a live video. So figured do a live one today. Most people are off work right now, so might get a little bit of traffic, and otherwise a lot of you guys I know kind of watch later on. You know, it's funny. I've learned since having my shop and was that when you start talking to a customer, if the customer seems difficult, you're better off not working with them than you are working with them, because you know, you think to yourself, you're like, oh yeah, you know, this customer might be difficult, but I think that I can deal with this difficult customer, or you know, whatever. And it never really works out for you. You know, both difficult customers that I had that you could tell were difficult out the gate, both ended up being kind of crappy customers to have. And to be honest, the only customers that complained. It's weird how that works. You know, one of them, when we first released our tuning, like just talk shit everywhere. Everywhere. I had to ban him from my damn Facebook page because he was talking shit all over my Facebook page. Randomly one day, he's like, hey, you know, Chris said he would charge me this much money. Now he wants to charge me $300 more. And he won't let me do custom versions of the tune and this and that and this and that. And so I want to go with you. All right, cool, man. We'll take care of it. No problems. Oh, what a nightmare. It was absolutely nothing but problems. You know, we basically, he ended up having a weak fuel pump. So he couldn't keep fuel pressure. Not really our problem, but you know, we try to help as much as we can, to help people diagnose whatever's going on with their vehicle. And then he got a random check engine light one day, but absolutely refused to check it. And he's like, oh, I want my money back. I'm so scared my truck's gonna break. And this is a dude that was telling me that he was a technician and he was building all these race cars, and a check engine light scared him enough that he thought his engine was going to blow up from a check engine light. So from there, I was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, I'm sick of the messaging me literally all the time, just all the time. I'm like, we don't normally do refunds, but we'll give you a refund because we don't want to deal with it anymore. And I wasn't very nice about it. I said it flat out. I said, yeah, I'm gonna give you a refund, and I don't ever want to hear from you ever again. Like, that's it. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you, because you've just been nothing but a headache when all we've done is try to help. So we start taking the device and trying to flash the device back to stock, because that is part of the agreement of, if you do get a refund for something, is that the device, you have to prove that the device went back to factory, and then prove that you shipped it to me before we refund any money, because otherwise a customer can just throw a fucker in a box and send it back, and then I'm out the couple $100 that the device cost, and a shitload of time. The device would not go back to stock. No matter what it did, it would not go back to stock. I actually have a fucking pile of devices that are all getting warrantied. They're all getting sent to Italy, and they're getting warrantied by the company, because the devices, something happened to them. They wouldn't go back to stock. The device wouldn't work, whatever. You know, and all those customers, you know, besides that one, if there was ever a problem with the handheld, we just sent them a new handheld, because I don't want to sit and deal with, you know, software issues when, if it just takes sending a new handheld, we're just going to send a new handheld. You know, it's not that big of a deal. We want to keep someone as a customer, you know. But in that case, the handheld had to go back to stock in order to return it. And eventually, it was just such a headache that I said, you know what, all right, fuck it. Just send me the damn thing back. I don't give a shit at this point. So we got it back. And it's fucking, I mean, I don't want to say it's junk. It's gonna, it's gonna go back to, Italy to get warranted. Give me 1 second here. Sorry. Let's see what the other thing I was going to say. So what I was getting at was that usually you can tell when someone's going to be a headache before they actually become a headache. And in business, it's best to avoid those people. Now, my stepdad has a fishing guide service, and he can always tell. I fucking missed a hair here. He can always tell when a customer is going to be just an awful customer to deal with. So he just flat out tells them, hey, we don't have any more room. We don't have any more bookings. Sorry. And, I never wanted to be that way, but, maybe I have to be that way in the terms of, hey, like, I don't want to deal with the headache. I don't want to deal with bad publicity because someone has an issue. One of the things that we run into in the 1500 world is that eco-diesel owners, most of them have never owned a Cummins truck. So most eco-diesel owners are basically, they're half-ton owners. So they come from a world where the tuning is a lot different. So they usually come from the gas world where people get all in their heads about their tuning, and they question everything, they freak out over everything, and that's not me grouping people into a ball here. That's just me basically trying to get to a point here where Cummins owners are a lot different. A Cummins owner buys a tune, slaps it on their truck. That's it. They don't post about it. They don't ask questions about it. That's it. They bought a tune. They know what it's supposed to do. That's it. They throw it in their vehicle. They're done and over with. Diesel owners are like that, and it's more used to the gas world where tuning is done a lot differently than it is in the diesel world. In the diesel world, these big companies, they don't have time, they don't even tell you anything about the tuning. It's, here's your tune, and they never talk to you again unless you have an issue. And now with like DPA stuff, they won't talk to you because they're not trying to get fined for the for the issue. God, where the Okay, it's back on here. Some of you might have seen, I shouldn't even call it a post, it's more like a comment from GDE where they were trying to bash our tuning or whatever. And here's the funny thing about that. Let me get up here so my internet's a little bit closer. Was that, the hell is it? Okay, so a customer had an issue with his computer. And a customer is like, you know what? Like, I'm going to have a third-party unbiased company check my computer out because I'm curious of what's in the tuning. So he sends his computer to GDE, and I'm not mad at him for it at all. I explained to him, I said, they're not an unbiased company. They are definitely a biased company. So GDE made all these outlandish comments like, oh, he's running 38 degrees of timing, but he never turned the timing map up, and this and that. I'll make a video later going more into the depth of how diesel engines work and how the computer works. One of the things is that there is a max timing number, and let's say it's 80 degrees. And if your pilot is 40 and your main is 50, that's 90 degrees. Well, it won't hit 90. So since the pilot comes first, it'll hit 40, and then it'll hit 40 on the max. So even though the timing table has some of the race timing that I use on my personal vehicle, doesn't mean that a customer vehicle will actually see the timing because we leave the maximum timing window smaller, which basically keeps the customer's vehicle completely in safe numbers without issues. It's just easier than having a shitload of tunes. We just make one single change that turns a table that was made for a race vehicle to a table that's made for a street vehicle. That one's super simple. The other one is they tried saying that we fried the fuel injector module or chip or something like that on the board. I got the computer in today, the same computer in today in the mail. Flashed the newest update file on it, slapped it in my truck. There's nothing wrong with the computer. What you run into was that there was more than likely some sort of a glitch when uploading the file to the computer originally, which is, you know, that's on us. There's nothing we can do about it other than all right, so is it gonna still go? Fuck. Okay, so now it's going in. So what it ended up being was that there was damage to a table that is converts, what the hell was it? It converts, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I might have this backwards. It either converts fuel to torque or converts torque to fuel, whatever. Basically saying, hey, this amount of fuel equals this amount of torque at this RPM and then this injection point. And that code that was popping up for that computer was from the damage to that table. So not a big deal, simple fix. But what I'm getting at is that you have these companies that trick people into sending them products so that they can look at them. Then they make this huge post trying to bash another company, and they don't even understand what they're looking at. Now, see, everybody gets this, they get this crap in their head. Well, Green Diesel Engineering, they're an engineering company. They used to work for Chrysler. Yeah, they used to work for Chrysler. That's right, used to. Let that sink in a little bit. The other thing is that anyone can go to school for an engineering degree. Anyone can have a company with the word engineering in it. And anyone can engineer anything they want. That's the beauty of America. You have to remember that manufacturers build products all the time. Manufacturers engineer products all the time. Manufacturers engineer shit all the time. Look how many recalls we have. Look how many issues we have with vehicles. Look how many bad transmissions, bad engines, just fucking poor designs. These come from people that are engineers. Just because someone is an engineer doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. And I'll get some bashing out of these comments by the few people that do watch my videos that watch it so they can get bad information from me or whatever. The guy has no idea what he's doing at all. And I could tell by the way he commented on things. You know, first thing a new company comes out, they stole his tunes. I wouldn't steal that shit, like at all. like at all. I mean, all they did was, they removed a little bit of pilot fuel. They added a little bit of fuel up top in the pulse width section. They turned up the torque limiters just a little bit. That's it. You know, if somebody wanted something special, their vehicle, they don't want their vehicle to slam into park when they shut the door, or they want the high idle, which their high idle's fucking awful. I don't know how many of you people have had their high idle, but you'll just be sitting in your driveway, engine coolant temp 160 degrees, and that fucker will just crank up. Whoa, and RPMs will skyrocket. Sit there for a minute, go down. Engine temp starts to go down a little bit because it's cold outside. It's a diesel. It hits like that 150 mark or so, and boom, it revs up again, all stupid. It's super annoying. You know, at one point, and this is still true, at one point I was saying, hey, if you don't buy my stuff, buy their stuff. And that's the thing at the end of the day. When it comes to it, when you put all of our stuff side by side, if you're going to buy someone's that's not mine, you go with them next. As for MR and SFT, it's pretty much a toss-up in the air because they both use the same guy in Bulgaria to do a lot of their modifications anyway. And none of them even have dyno sheets. Dude's got a dyno in his shop. He doesn't have dyno sheets. It's, you know, I try not to make too many of these videos because I don't want to come across as being super negative or talking shit, because we are trying to be above everyone else when it comes to professionalism. But at a certain point, you have to stop and think to yourself, like, does this make sense? You got all these people bashing us, and we're doing what? Nothing. We're not doing anything. We're sitting on the computer writing tunes, sitting on the computer writing code, messaging customers back. I've moved over to keeping a complete log. Every customer's name, their engine name, their transmission file name, what we've done to their vehicle, what date we sent it out, and every day I scroll through it. That way if someone needs an update, or if somebody has an older transmission file, I can update it and send it to them. It is just me, so that does make things a little bit harder. At some point here, I'll get another person in order to help mainstream this. But as we move forward, there's only so many more calibration IDs that we need to get our hands on before we have copies of everything ready to go, in the future, for future customers, it's going to be extremely fast process. Like, hey, they send their file over and bam, like 3 hours later they get their stuff done, ready to go. And I wish I could say that for the customers that we've already done, and the customers that are still waiting on files to come back and things like that. With that being said, anyone who does have a handheld, who does have stage 2, when we finalize it, we are putting the switch file on there, and we will be getting with you later for being such quality customers on how to get the switch, how to install the switch, how to wire the switch in, without actually having to go through and pay the upgrade file for the switch tuning. So we will be continuing to do things to help out the people that have been there the whole time for us. So there are certain updates that when we do them to our tuning, a lot of people are going to get the updates for free, even the ones that we spent a lot of money on research and development to do, in order to pay back the people that have always been there, versus making them send the crap in or making them do whatever else. And there's certain things that you have to do that with, like when we finally get our freaking SFT, or not SFT, when we finally get our switch on the fly done, I think that's going to require that'll require a bench tune. Not really fully sure right now. Anyone who has the same calibration ID I have, it might not require bench tune because it's going to be built off my calibration. So with that being said, the people that order the switch on the fly, we might actually send them a computer that's a stock version of mine with the handheld, so they can put it in their truck and the handheld and then load all the tunes on it. I haven't really fully decided yet how we're going to do that. We have to wait till we get the patch finally done. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else I wanted to say or point out. It's at the end of the day, people should question things more. They should ask more of the people that they're buying products from, but they should ask more about other stuff. Do you really want to buy and I'm not even saying buy stuff for me, but do you want to buy a product from a guy who's on the internet constantly lying to people, constantly bashing people, constantly trying to stir drama? Like, is that a company that you want to support? You can imagine how many people don't support Richie Rawlings and Gas Monkey because of his attitude. There's a fine line between things being funny and things not being funny anymore, and things becoming unprofessional. And a lot of people don't realize this, that Chris, Jordan, they're salespeople. They don't know anything about vehicles. They let alone know how to wrench on something, let alone tune it. Chris made a comment, 2 weeks ago, we sell 100 tunes a month. He made a comment yesterday, we sell 200 tunes a month. There's 100,000 eco diesels out there, maybe 150. The Ram, only 20% of Rams are eco diesels. So do the math. They only recalled 100,000 eco diesels in 2019, and that was for five years of vehicles. 100,000. There's not 200 eco diesels being tuned every single month. So that's the kind of things you need to look into. I seen them say the other day, oh, we have 70 horsepower tunes. They do not have 70 horsepower tunes at all. I'm the only company that sells a 70 horsepower tune. No one has been able to get on a dyno and put down numbers anywhere near mine. And they're not going to unless they take my tuning and do it. That's the only way they're going to do it. but then again, they don't even have dyno sheets out there. So, you know, it is what it is. We're still constantly selling tuning every week. We're trying to release new information on the internet here. We will be doing HB tuners tuning. So for those of you who don't have tuning yet and they do want to do it through HB tuners, we do have some options available right now if that's something that you want to do. It's going to be a little bit time consuming at first to get fully through it. There's a lot of code that goes into it and things like that. But if you are interested in that, please let me know. I think that we'll have a couple different options. Either I provide the HP tuners and the credits, or you either buy them from me or you buy them from the HP tuners, whatever. I'm a vendor for them anyway. They might be on back order. I don't know, through the whole chip thing. And there's other things that we're doing now too. For those of you who don't want to spend a lot of money and you just want to engine tune, things like that, you can send us your PCM. We'll bench tune it. We can bench tune at stage 1. We can bench tune at 40 horse, 50 horse, 60 horse, 70 horse, doesn't matter. We can bench tune it with toe tuning on it. You know, we can set it up however you want, and it'll be much cheaper than basically any option out there, and still get quality files on it. We have 2 dynos here locally that we use. One of them is going to be going back up here in a month when the new eddy brake gets in, and then the other one hasn't been installed yet. My last location, we had an MD600 dyno that literally got finalized installation as we moved. So, you know, either way, we're going to get the truck on the dyno when the turbo gets in. You know, we're looking to push 350 horse, so hopefully we can do that again without issue. Or not do that again, we're hopefully going to hit 350 horse with the turbo, with the 4-inch downpipe. So, and then at that point, we can start selling them for those of you that are looking for them. And we'll probably sell the turbo with tuning included. So I guess I'll end the video here. I'll also be making a video here on how to do tuning on the EcoDiesels through HB tuners as well, which basically, if you're going to do like a stage 1 or stage 2, you'll probably be required to purchase that file from me, because you won't be able to do that on your end without the custom coding. But you'll be able to buy that file that's got the stage 2 in the background, and put it on your vehicle, and then you can do the rest of the tuning yourself if you really want to. So stuff to keep in mind. Any comments, questions, concern, whatever, message me. Today's Friday, so we have a coupon on the www.ecodieselusa.com for $200 off. So for those of you who haven't bought anything, it's still good through the end of today, I think. And it's just $200 off EcoDiesel. So, all right, everybody have a good